Okay, first things first. Welcome once again to our second event in July. We have already the recording of the first event ready to be shared. We will do it tomorrow. So just for those who did not participate, we talked about hydration. It was super interesting. We'll share the recording tomorrow as the same with the recording of this event. And just like I said, the main topic is how you prepare your race vest, the race bag. And just like I said, I'm super curious to hear from you. I have prepared some questions, but again, let's make it like we were right in front of Josip's house in one of those Portuguese cafes. And let's make it as this conversation as much informal as possible. And I've prepared some questions. You can ask your questions. You can bring up the topics that you decide, or in order just to help you if you have anything that you'd like to know about others and others' experience. But let's keep it simple. Let's start with I would say with the essentials. In your opinion, besides, and obviously you can tell me, like Francisco, the answer might be the mandatory gear. But one of the questions that I have is, in your opinion, or take into account your rituals, the race rituals, what are the must-have items you always pack in your trail running race bag? Does anyone wants to jump right in to start the conversation? If not, I can always serve as the conversation sparker. Josip, you want to be the first?
Yeah, sure. Um, I always, apart from the mandatory gear, even if sun cream is not mandatory, I bring sun cream always, like a small one. I have like a mountain sun cream systems, blah blah blah, 50 SPF. Uh, uh, um, I don't like running in wet socks, so I always carry a spare pair of socks as well. Because most of the races you go through several streams and you can't keep dry all the time. I don't change them straight away, but if I feel some friction or anything, if they're really wet, for example, now at Lavaredo, um, we went through the same stream 7 times, like in a zigzag, so everybody was completely wet. But since it was warm, my feet got dry rather quickly, so I didn't change my socks. But I always bring them just in case if I get any calluses or anything, so just a spare pair of socks, even if it's not any equipment. Uh, uh, um, I use this product called Butt Shield. I know it's not a great name, but it's kind of like an anti-friction cream for cyclists and for runners. I think it's an American brand. Um, and that one's like a roll-on and really light and really small. So again, if there's anything, like if my vest or something is if there's any friction, then I use that one. And that one's actually lighter than anything else that I would be bringing, like in terms of weight. If, like, I don't know, if you want to bring Vaseline, that's heavier. If you want to bring that nut butter or whatever they call it, the one squirrel nut butter, that one's quite heavy as well.
Yeah.
But this one's really light and really small, so it's good to carry. And
Is
I
this
guess
from Two Toms?
hmm?
The name
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
brand?
that one. Yeah,
Two
yeah.
Toms. Yeah. Okay.
And I've been using it for a while now, and it's actually really durable and really good for anti-friction. Um, and last but not least, I always bring some candy if I get some flavor fatigue. So I use this brand called Jelly Babies. So they're like different fruit flavors. So if I get any flavor fatigue, I just pop a couple of those, and that's it.
Okay, so sunscreen, uh, socks, the
Yeah,
butt shield, so anti-shave uh, cream, if we
yeah,
can call it this way, and the some candies.
yep.
Okay, okay. Um, I saw that York said mandatory equipment. gels for the full race, and
Yeah.
water. By the way, Josip, what was the mandatory gear for Lavaredo? Was it like it varied according to the distance, or was the same for all the?
Yeah, it varied according to the distance. For example, I'm doing Wild Struble 100K in September, and they're asking for 2 torches and 2 batteries, like 2 headlamps and 2 batteries, which I don't understand really from, is it, because I know some races, and maybe others can chip in here, some races say that you cannot have an internal battery. It needs to be like a removable one. But the torch I have, the one I have, is like integrated battery, and it's charged by USB. So I don't know if I need to buy, I emailed them, but they're not replying. I don't know if I need to buy like torches that actually have removable batteries, and I don't know. So that one's also going to be interesting to pack, because I don't want to buy a big vest, a new big one. So I'm probably going to use a 5 liter one and try to cram in everything for 100K.
Hmm. And for Lavaredo, you ran what was the distance?
50K. 50K.
50K. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would say that what was the mandatory gear? Was like the
It was just like a long sleeve shirt, long sleeve um, tights, space blanket, whistle, the usual ones, I guess.
the
But
usual,
then
yeah.
the day before the race, they said they're not gonna check the equipment. So I didn't bring the long sleeve because it was 30 degrees. I didn't bring the long sleeve, and I didn't bring the leggings as well, because I was like,
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
I'll
Yeah,
survive.
yeah.
So I cheated, but don't
I
tell them I was 500. I could have won some money if I was under 500.
it's too late. It's too late for them. I know that, and I was just trying as we speak, I was just trying to find the mandatory gear for
Usually
the
they have them. Usually they have them for like bad weather and hot weather. So if it's bad weather, they expect like another top layer. So not
mm,
so a windbreaker, a rain jacket, which should be like 2 different ones,
yeah.
um, a mid layer, and like another warm mid layer if it's bad weather.
Mm,
I know
mhm.
that. And then waterproof trousers as well if it's bad weather.
I remember that for Mute, the racing in Madeira, besides the space blanket and the whistle, you need to have your cell phone, which is we totally understand. You have a rain jacket,
Yep.
and you also need to bring um, what's the name? What's the name? Jesus, let me use it's the name, which is also totally. I totally understand why they ask for this, even though, well, it doesn't weight a lot. Um, what's the name? Uh, what's the name in English? Jesus Christ. If you, wait a minute. If you, so I'm searching for, yeah, bandage. Jesus. So
Yeah,
they ask for some, yeah,
yeah.
they
I
ask for
carry that.
some
I carry
bandage.
that always with me, and I think that's mandatory in most races, even the shorter ones. I don't know. I kind of carry it. I don't know if I fall down or something. It's kind of useful, or if someone else gets hurt. And as
Yeah.
you say, it's
No,
not
no, for
that
sure.
heavy. I put it in a Ziploc, like a small Ziploc. And
Yeah.
I put it together with the space blanket, so it's like kind of one of those things I never open, but they're always
Yeah.
like there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're always there. Yeah. In my opinion, honestly, like I saw that you have so you bring those like the socks and the the candies, and then also like the sunscreen and the butt the
But
the
you.
butt shield. Normally, like I would say that even for Madeira, the 85Ks, yes, like the torch, so the headlight, and even for this race, it's exactly the same as the race that you're going to do in
Yeah,
September.
yeah.
Yeah, so you need to have two flashlights with replacement. And if one of the flashlights or the headlamps is has a rechargeable battery, you need to have a power bank for those.
Okay, yeah. So if yeah, I'll get a power bank then. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's at least what the regulations of this race. But besides that, I just go with the mandatory gear. I don't have any extra, like just like you said, like the spare socks or well, especially the sunscreen and the butt shields. Maybe I should start to, but never did it. But normally I just follow the mandatory gear, and that's it. This especially because I don't know, but I'm lucky enough to have like at least someone to support me and to follow me throughout the race. And if I need some socks, I can ask for the
Yeah.
socks instead of just carrying them. I will just welcome Vinay, our fellow community member from India, even though I'm not sure if he's in India right now. Just to remind you, so today the main topic is how do you prepare your race vest, your race bag. And the first question that me, Josip, and Jorg we have already answered was what are the must-have items you always pack in your trail running race bag? Do you want to jump into the conversation to tell us what are your must items?
Well, the one thing that I always keep is survival bag or survival pack and rain jacket and rain pants because I have faced almost in every race that I have done in anything anywhere in Europe. It's always going to be rainy or somewhere in the mountains it's going to rain off. I probably did like 6 races in Europe and only one I didn't had like I didn't use any of the rain gear, but the rest of it I always used rain gear. That's one thing that's like the must thing that's for me.
So in all the races in except for one, you had to
Yeah,
use the waterproof jacket. Jesus Christ. Unlucky you. Wow. Unlucky
even
you.
in the even in July start Valderan when I was racing 110K, they had warned me 12 a.m. it would rain. I was trying to catch up the last hill. It started thunderstorm, and I had to really like grab as quickly as
Oh my
possible.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was a slush fest.
Wow. Well, I don't remember if I've had to use already the waterproof jacket. Now I remember that 2 years ago or 1 year and something ago, I remember Josip sending us two videos for the community with the like the British wind, and I still remember like
Yeah.
that's why the well, this is more like windbreaker, but I still remember those videos of him like in the top of the hill trying to talk with all the wind. But if like I don't remember if I ever had to use a waterproof jacket. Luckily for me, at least for me, but and actually take into account that you now have the micro on, and keeping and sticking with the essentials. When we talk about gear and like survival gear, are there any specific brand or product you swear by for trail races? For example, Josip, he said that for all the races he uses some like a anti-shave product,
Uh,
and the name of the product is Butt Shield from Two Toms. I can actually share it again if then you are interested on this one. But in terms of gear and gear slash essentials, are there any specific brands or products that you are like a super big fan, and if now I open the race vest, I will find it there?
Vaseline, the butt
So,
shield.
so
That's
you
one. Yeah, yeah. Not the same brand, but I generally have like a one anti-chafing cream that if I open it is there.
okay? If according to Josip, comparing to other anti-shave brands, this one is lighter. So
Huh.
somehow you want to try it, well, feel free. Here's a suggestion, or at least recommendation by Josip.
I use that for the cycling, but haven't tried it for running though.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Josip? Besides Two Toms, Butt Shield, are there any like specific brands that you stick with them because obviously you had a good experience with them, or it's super random?
Yeah, I was just typing Nightcore power bank. So that one's made specifically for trail running. It's made from a very light material, and it has 2 or 3, I think generation 3. You can buy generation 1 or 2 or 3. They're similar price, but they have USB-C and USB, a regular USB output, and you can charge like your phone 2 times, your torches 2 times. It's very, very strong, and it's the lightest on the market. It's like around 100 grams, but very, very powerful.
Oh, this is amazing. Wow.
And I have their small torch as well, NU25, and it's also great. So they do really good headlamps and
Yeah.
really good power banks. That power bank is the best, definitely best in the market, and it's like fall proof, so you can fall from 2 meters and it's not gonna break. So, and I'm tall, so that's useful. But I would like to hear maybe a recommendation from someone on a strong headlamp, so one that will gonna last throughout the night. Because a
I
lot of
can,
people I talk to, they have small ones, right? They're gonna last you for a
yeah.
couple of hours. Because like
Mm.
if you go into the night, but for those people who run maybe 100 milers or run throughout the night, even if it's 100K or something, what would they recommend for a headlamp that can
Yeah,
last throughout the night?
yeah. I can tell you that I've worked already for a headlamp company, which is also invested by Killian, Moonlight. One thing the only thing that I don't like about the headlamp is comparing to others is a little bit heavy, but the difference is not that you don't that you say like I won't buy this. Because on the opposite side, the lamp is super powerful, like super, super powerful. Even the one that they use, or the one that they suggest for like night running, is the 800 lumen, which is like enough, and it's super, super powerful. The cost of the headlamp is like 125 or 140, something like that. And um, it's super, super powerful. I really like it. Um, and um, and then it brings like an extra cable if you want to, instead of having the battery here, they have like a longer cable where you can put the battery in the race vest, which is also interesting and also comfortable. So I would say that for me personally, I really like the brand Moonlight from Norway. That's my recommendation on headlamps. But I would say, I'm not sure about you, do people really pay attention when they like go out to run at night? Because most of the headlamps I see, they are from, I don't know, like Decathlon or whatever. Like people say, like, I just need a light. I don't care if it's powerful or not. Maybe then the experience will tell them that they really need a good headlamp. But I'm not sure. Jorgi's saying that he's using one from the brand Lupine, so a German brand. I will just list all your product suggestions in what regards not only headlamps but also the anti-shave product. Then we can share it with everyone. But yeah, here's my suggestion. Josip, Moonlight. Um, it's a super good brand. Diego, I'm not sure if you want to add your 2 cents right now, and this is the first two questions. The question that we have right now is regarding the products that you have on the race vest. Are there any specific brands that you always use that you stick with? Um, if I open your race vest right now, I will, and then on the next race, if I find any specific brands, we have already 3 suggestions from 2 different products at least. This is the question right now. The first question was, what are the must-have items you always pack in your trail running race bag? And for a quick summary, I know that Josip, besides the mandatory gear, uses sunscreen, the anti-shave product, dry socks, and candies. And the experience from Vinay, because he already participated in 5 or 6 races in Europe, and in 90% of them, he had to use the waterproof jacket. So it's a must-have item for him. If you want to answer to the questions, please feel free to jump and turn on your mic.
Hello, I'm
Hey.
Diego. I'm a Spanish guy living in Chile, in Santiago. I always wear with me a Petzl. I use Petzl brand.
Okay, there's the headlamp.
The headlamp, yes. The main
Okay.
item is the Nano RL 5,000 lumens. I think
Okay.
it is enough for the race. And always I wear an spare battery just in case.
Okay. Okay. And besides the mandatory gear, do you use any extra item besides the mandatory gear? Is it normal to, just like, for example, Josip uses like a spare socks or candies? Do you put inside of your bag any other item?
I always wear in my bag my own carbohydrates
Okay.
because I don't know if I can eat anything in the during the race
Yeah,
in the points, and for me is useful to wear all my carbohydrates
okay,
in the bag.
okay.
Just
Makes sense.
in case of the socks, no, I don't wear any another pair of socks
Yeah.
or something. I use the
So
brand,
it's
the Spanish brand Lurbel.
Lurvel,
I think
yeah.
Lurbel
It's
track is awesome socks.
so it's just like so you follow exactly the same strategy as Yorick, besides the equipment, instead of, well, I don't know what type of carbohydrates he use, but he also brings the gels for the full race, and then the water. Um, I would say that for the next question, and this question, it can't be more simple than this. Do you have any quote unquote strategy on how to pack your stuff inside of the race bag? Is there any order you follow? Do you fold the products in a specific way? I don't know. Is there any strategy that you follow? For example, if you have to use like the small cup, you put it like first, or if you have to use this plastic plate to eat proper food at the aid stations, you put like on the bottom part of the race vest, and then on the top part you use the water jackets. Do you have any specific strategy on how you pack things in your race vest? Question to the audience. I can be the first to answer because my answer is super simple. I don't use any specific order. I just pack things as I find the products. If the headlamp is the first thing, or the batteries are the first thing that I find, those go to the bag first, and then the water jackets, and then whatever comes next. But again, just to go straight to the answer, I don't follow any strategy. What about you?
Yeah, I can answer. Like, I generally want things that I don't need right away in the back, and then like double layer if it's a mandatory gear that goes in the back, which I'm not going to use, and rain pants, which I'm not going to use, and survival blanket somewhere in the middle, and then whatever the gels, spare gels that I'll carry, and some of the hydration and carbo load or something that I need on the top, and rain jacket on the top, and then side on the poles, and in front 2 bottles, 4 gels, exactly to reach out, and one on the right with Vaseline, and on the left sunscreen. So that's like the like strategy that I generally follow when I'm packing for the bag, and it has to be on that way so that my bag feels like it's not stuffed in, but yeah, it's there, everything. So I know mentally where I have to search in the bag rather than scramble around. So if I know I'm going to be in the night section, the light will be like after second half, I'll shift it to top so that I can easily take it out in the aid station and get it off.
Okay.
So
And okay, and that reminds me of one question that we can bring up next. We just got a photo from Shlomi, who participated, who ran the UTMB distance last year, and now we can see all his gear with food, the shoes, GoPro, obviously. In terms of headlamp, I see some Petzl, and then the Lecky hiking pole, 3 water flasks from Salomon, also the hats because of the hot weather. I see some gloves there. I see some like the buff.
This is how you say, you know, too much information.
Yeah, too much information for sure.
Yeah, but if you know, I tried to cover everything, and I didn't use you know, maybe half of it or most of it, but I think that if you can look at a few points that I've, you know, related to the other discussion, the other question, for example, things that I found that that are valuable for me. For example, if you can see near the bib number, you see like a bag with something green, okay?
Yes.
These are like sergeant covers for the hands, gloves, surgeon gloves. Okay, I found out that if you are taking like you know, the usual anti-water, water resistant or waterproof gloves, sometimes you have those which are covering also your fingers. And when it's, you know, you have the double layer, you cannot actually pull anything because your fingers are not free. You know, those who cover, like you have 4 fingers pulled together and things like this. So I found out that the most practical thing is to have a very good, you know, warm gloves, and just put Surgeon, you know, when you know, wash the dishes and everything, you just put the Surgeon gloves on top of it, and it's like waterproof without anything, and it's very practical, and you can pull out everything. Your fingers are fully free to pull. Yeah, and it's also acceptable by UTMB, by the way, that you are you know, using this. So this is my tip. I assume that everybody knows that, but if not, then this is practical. Of course, beneath it is the those special waterproof pants, which turned themselves very valuable in Istria when like crazy weather got through, and all I had these pants, and they were really, you know, waterproof and really practical. So don't miss that. Other than this, you can see like some caffeine, you know, which worked very, very good during the first night. Caffeine shots, 60 milligrams. The second night it didn't work. It didn't have any effect, but on the first night it worked.
Sorry, just to interrupt you. Like, besides the things that are on the spare bag, all the rest, you put it on your race vest?
On UTMB, yes, it was too much, and part of it I didn't use. But what you see here, you know, some of it is on me, because you see here are my, you see the trousers and the shirts and the second layer and the you know, the vest, no, the coat, which is mandatory. The poles, of course, the hat for the night, you know, to keep me warm. Some, you know, warm bath, something for the head, you know, to keep me warm as well. By the way, there are, you know, something near my trousers. You see something like also black and long. And these are like special gaiters which I sewed. I created from, I took like from cyclists that have, you know, short pants, and then they have additional like layers for the legs, you know, to complete it. So I took it and I turned it upside down, so it's narrow on the top and it's wide. And then I took like flexible rubber, and I sew it, and I created like a very long gaiters that I can pull up and cover up to my knees when it's cold.
Yeah.
So it's like custom-made gaiters, which is very practical, you know.
What the like? I'd like to. Do you follow, especially taking into account that you were the one that suggested this topic? Do you follow any specific strategy in what regards? Like, how do you pack all this stuff in your race vest? And one secondary question that I'd like to ask is that what you put in the back, so like on the main pocket, and then what you put in the front of the race vest. What's the strategy? How do you pack this stuff? Is there any specific order?
Yes, there is an order for those things that will be fast to grab and to take out, which I need the most. For example, the raincoat is the most important. In the latest Salomon vest, you have a special place to put it here.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the other vest, it's very complicated. You have to, you know, stuff it, find a place to stuff it. But this is the most important. Usually, This is the things that you will use in most of the races. Maybe when you go to the start, I like to cover myself and then, just, take it out and then just stay with the t-shirts. So the availability of the raincoat is the most important. Other than this, there will be like the small stuff that I like to take out. If it's my cell phone, which is here usually, and things that I found because I have some, stomach issues, like wipers that I take, that usually you get in restaurants, those that you take for the hands. Always those, there are like 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, because usually during middle of the night, if I start the race in around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock p.m., somewhere between 2 to 3 a.m., something will happen, and then I will need it. So it's always available. In the back, in those, when you, Solomon call it like the kangaroo one, will be those maybe some like snacks like pretzels or gels or something that I like to use. It's the sponsor, ultra trail or ultra marathon sponsor powder that I'm putting into like bags, like small bags, the quantity, and I use it right now. I used it in the GTC. It was very practical. Those will be, the most like available. Of course, the GoPro, because I like to shoot a lot, and of course the cup. But then again, the gear that I don't need will be somewhere stuffed inside, like the bandage that you mentioned, the additional gloves, all those things which are like mandatory, which you do not use. This will be inside in like second level or third level or something like this.
Okay. And what about you, just Josip, just to move, do you follow any strategy in what regards like on how to pack your stuff inside the race vest? Or
we will see. I just bought a new one, so I will let you know if I if I manage. I don't want to buy a big vest. I bought a 6-liter Solomon vest, the one that has like on the side as well, because I'm using normal shorts and I can actually stuff a lot of gels in those. Because I use what's his name, Precision Hydration gels, and they come in that big pouch of 90 grams of carbs. So those I can stuff in a normal vest, 2 on the side, and then maybe 3 in front, and then so that's like 5 times 9, so that's 450 grams of carbs. That's quite a lot of carbs, and so that's my carbs sorted in the vest, in the belt, and then the poles, which I broke, I need to buy new ones. Also go back in the shorts. So like shorts help a lot, and then this Solomon vest has on the side, it has those pockets as well. So I'll stuff there. So there's 6 liters. So I think it's gonna be a good one. I was waiting for Normal to launch like a 10-liter vest. So if you launch it now for Chamonix, I will be very angry because I already bought a new one.
I can tell you that we won't. I can tell you that we won't.
Okay, then it's good. Then it is. But yeah, I think a 6-liter is enough, honestly, for 100K. I don't think I need more than that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't see myself doing 100-milers anytime soon. So I think that's going to be my last investment on that one. And on poles, I was watching videos by Manuel Merillas. He was making poles out of bamboo sticks. So I want to do that, but the problem is I can't put them on a plane because they're too large. So I was thinking of maybe ordering from Amazon to my accommodation, ordering a few bamboo poles and then making them over there. We'll see. Because I do that with gels. I don't carry my gels with me on races. I actually order them to the hotel or to the Airbnb or whatever. And I think that's actually the best way, because you don't carry that much with you. And at the same time, if you don't want to pack a big bag, if you're just going with your backpack, you don't need to pay for extra liquids or whatever. So just order them to the hotel.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. I like it. And it's also sustainable because it's one travel less with the gels. Yeah, I like it. So Diego is just sharing some suggestions in what regards products. Let's just jump right into our the two last questions of today's community talk, and let's I would like to hear from you on if is there any, I don't know, memory or an experience of that like you were packing, or especially that you forgot about like a specific item that then made a significant difference in a race. Did this already happen to you that you just, I don't know, forgot about any specific item or something that made happened, something that happened regarding in or the race vest? Is there any story that you'd like to share? On my side, I have not. Well, actually, I have one, but it was on the day before, actually a year ago. And I was lucky again. I forgot the water flask, like both of them. And I just got to know that I forgot about the water flasks when I was preparing the race vests for the race that was on the day after. And then luckily for me, the stores only closed at 8, and this was at 20 to 8, and there was one of those like Decathlon Express stores like 2 or 3 minutes walking from the place that I was, and I just went there to buy 2 water flasks, 500 millimeter, and because of that, I got to follow the mandatory gear in what regards water, and that was it.
I can share something from the UTMB, which was like almost a crucial, is that you saw in the picture that I had 3 flasks.
Yeah.
And 2 were mandatory here, and something, and it's related to the fact what you put in the back or something. I put it in the back as a backup in case one will, tore up or something, and I will not be able to use it. And in the second day from Valrusin, climbing up on the last crazy climb to La Flégée, it was terribly hot, and I just went out with 2 flasks, and I forgot I had the third one. And I almost, didn't reach La Flégée because I almost, got hydrated, totally dehydrated, and almost stopped because there were no water and everybody was, dying there because of the heat. And I actually forgot that I had a third flask that I could use, and it would have saved me and even, made me faster. But, I just remember that only after the race itself that I had another one. But then again, I didn't sleep for 2 days, so it happens. So maybe it should be in the front.
How long was the race for you?
44 hours and
Wow.
50 minutes, too long. Yeah.
Jesus. Wow.
So,
And one last question. Do you have any specific rituals or routines in what regards like preparing your race bag the night before? Are there any rituals? Are there any routines that you follow on the night before when you're preparing the race bag? On my side, it's super simple, which is I'm pretty sure that everyone follows this same ritual, which is to prepare everything on the night before. That's it. That's the only routine I have, and I just and the trick that I use is I try to visualize, like, okay, the mandatory gear, check, and then maybe thinking about one specific item or other specific item that I might need for that race, and that's it. Do you have any specific rituals or routines?
So yeah, sorry for jumping in. I think you saw it from the picture. It's like, you know, the ritual is like spreading, like before the battle, all the gear, just verifying, packing it, unpacking it, and then packing it again just to verify that I didn't forget everything, and still I forget.
Jesus. Vinay, Diego, Jorg, Josip, Paco, Giaro, do you have any specific
Yeah, so
rituals? Go ahead.
before the rituals, last year I thought I packed the right trekking poles, and then I see it was a hiking pole. So I got the wrong poles for the job. It costed me a lot. My arms were hurting halfway. And somehow on the finish, I wanted to throw the poles and just run it on the downhill.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, so definitely before sleeping I make sure like the socks on the right and left, everything is set inside the shoe rather than searching for it in the morning. Yeah, pin the bibs one day night before rather than early in the morning. That's one thing I've been doing from every race. I'll pin before the night itself and keep it. On everything will be stuffed inside, even the spare jacket before to give for the bag. I will make sure it is on the top of the hydration vest so that I know what I have to take and what I have to give for the like a drop bag or something. So that's like the most, like the spare clothes and everything on top of the running vest so that I know it'll be there at the finish line rather than me thinking, oh, I'll find it later.
Okay. In the case of Diego, we have, so I pack the backpack and unpack it again and discard things that I could have left over. And in what regards Jorg, I have a list for packing. Josip, do you want to jump in before we close the conversation? So the question is if you have any specific rituals or routines in what regards packing stuff.
Well, not really. I think as everyone said, the stuff that I don't need is towards the bottom. My jacket is really close, like I can pull it out from here. So that one's kind of like close, and gels are close. I ran now Cortina with that water bottle that you can have like around here. And I think that's why I hurt my obliques at like 17K, because I think I was like pulling the bottle too much or anything. I think there was some asymmetry in my running. So I think I'm not doing that again. So I might do as Shlomo said, I might actually have one in the back. And then if I need it, I'll drink it rather than, because I was carrying it in my hand. So I think I saw Remy Bonnet or someone doing that. So I'm obviously not Remy Bonnet. I'm 3 times as heavy and I have 3 times less muscle. So I think it's not it's not useful.
I think
that
Killian did the same in the Gamma, using the water
the strap.
bottle that you can, the strap. Yeah. But I would say that I would say that that's a good strategy maybe for like faster races.
Yeah.
Like it's fast, like 4 hours, 5 hours, that's it. If it's for a longer race, just like you said, maybe it's like one weight more to carry. And then, well, I'm pretty sure that most of us have already ran, I don't know, longer distance, and you reach one specific distance where, I don't know, like a bandage weight, and you say like, F it, I don't want this anymore because it's lots of weight to carry. So my friends, that's it for today's community talk. how to pack a race vest. What I kindly ask you, if I have the copy of all the text, the chat here. What I will do is I will also copy the list of all the products that you suggested, and I will share it in the community for if you want to have a look on some of those products. Feel free to suggest more products that you carry on your race vest. Sorry. So community talk number 2, check. And let me just, before we close, let me just remind you that our next community talk was a suggestion from Josip, and it's going to be in less than a month. Actually, it's going to be during the UTMB week, the 26th of August. And it's going to be about tips for running 50K, 100K, and 100 miles. So this is the topic for our next community talk. Once again, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for being such valuable members of the community. As always, feel free to ask your questions, share your experience, anything that we can do for you, just let me know, and have a great week. Okay? Josip, nice to see you. Shlomi, Vinay, Paco, Jorg, Yaro, Diego, nice to see you all. See you on the next community talk.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Cheers.
everyone.
Oh, bye. Bye-bye. Ciao.